Hey guys, welcome back. This is Silver Contrail here. We are on episode 12 of SolitaryCraft, and just down here checking out my bedrock breaker. Things have become a lot easier now that I don't have to use these extra utilities transfer pipes, because I've got tesseracts transmitting all my energy now. And we'll go ahead and look at basically how I'm transmitting all my energy and how I'm producing it, all that fun stuff when we get around to moving this. All this stuff has got to be moved, of course. Get some more bedrock, which is pretty handy if you're making a lot of different things. I try to set it up in a way, because it'll only break bedrock that's 4 in front of it, so you got to find a line of like 3 usually for it to be efficient. Otherwise you got to keep coming down here and moving it. Oh, this is a nice one. But it's only... You also have to find one with 4 spaces behind it, because you can't line up the whole... Oh, I don't need that. You can't line up the whole line of them, all of your machines, because you got to have the bedrock breaker in front, the gearbox, and then the magnostatic, and then the redstone energy conduit, all in a line, or it won't do anything. So you've got to find a spot where there's enough bedrock in front of you to make it worth your while, but at the same time it isn't too cramped behind it. And I really can't find a spot that's like that. Maybe, I think I was gonna go back this way now. I've been trying to get at some of this bedrock. Like I'd love to go down this line and get all this stuff, but I have to get rid of this one. So it's like a puzzle game where you have to try to get rid of the bedrock to get to the bedrock. So I've been trying some different stuff here. Let me grab the bedrock breaker again. Maybe we'll just do this line. So this one definitely have to come down here and move it again pretty soon, because there's only 2 pieces of bedrock in this line. But if we get these out of the way, then hopefully we can get to other things a little bit easier. So then it's the gearbox, magnostatic engine, and the conduit, and then finally the tesseract. It should start getting power right away. Pump this thing up to max. You can finally run it at max power too. When I used the transfer pipes I wasn't able to do that, but now with the tesseract I can. So that'll run. This guy will run 16 seconds for operation time, so it takes 16 seconds to break this bedrock one time, and it needs to break it, I think, like 10 times or something. It's quite a few times. So that's that. What other things have I been doing down here? Oh yes, so I've been trying to get ender pearls lately, because to make the tesseracts you need quite a few ender pearls. So what I ended up doing was making a dark room down here. Oh my... Wow, there are a lot of mobs in there. Oh boy. I took one of the tunnels that I had been digging out, more or less, with this dude right here, the boring machine, and I just took out the torches that I had in there. This is really dark down here too. And as soon as you take out the torches, it is basically mob... Let's get the skeleton head on. It basically becomes just like mob heaven, and there's mobs everywhere. Thankfully my sword is way stronger than they can handle, so not too difficult to kill them. Burning bats. But yes, sometimes I'll come down here and I'll just patrol and I'll look for endermen, because I need them ender pearls. I haven't gone to the end yet, but I'm planning on it soon. There's another bow. It's not enchanted, so I don't really care. I'm going to set this thing up again soon. Not quite yet. I have basically tesseracts to automate it, and we'll talk more about that today. But the main thing I want to do today is finally move. I have that base that we built a couple of episodes ago, and it's finally time to really get in that base and move all my stuff over there, especially my applied Energistics setup, which really needs to get moved over. It's been sitting in my base, kind of collecting dust, and I need to move it over and expand it. I need to make assembly chambers and all that fun stuff so we can finally get it up and running. Definitely want to sleep because, of course, it's night. And then we'll go take a look at some things over here because there's some other stuff too I want to talk about. Let's get some carrots and dump off some of this junk that I have in my inventory that I definitely don't need right now. The other thing I've been doing is just these canola seeds for the lubricant. Try to farm them whenever possible. So it's actually pretty convenient to have the farms right there because I walk by them every time I walk between these buildings. Okay, so this convoluted setup right here. This is a pain. I realized something, and I should have realized this beforehand, before I actually set everything up. And I didn't, and I feel like an idiot. Am I gaining or losing power? I am losing slowly. Okay. And I should have realized this, because when I first built this, I actually built it in a way that I ended up not wanting it to be built. I needed to expand it one more because I wanted on each side of the waterfall there to be a row of these hydrokinetic engines. So you'd have one row on this side and then one row where I'm walking right now. So like, where's a block? Here's some blocks. So basically have a row right here as well, and they'll turn, and that's fine, or it would have been fine, but I didn't realize that the engines can only turn one direction. They can only turn, I think it's clockwise or counterclockwise. I'm unsure. Let me double check. They can only rotate counterclockwise. So this means that if I do set up a line here, they have to be pointed towards the back. So towards here. That's a problem because the way I wanted to do it initially is I wanted all the power to come towards the front and then pump it into my energy supply and stuff, and that's what this whole room was going to be. And with the change, I have to change how I was going to do everything. I have to run pipes all over the place, which isn't really that big of a deal, but it does change how I was going to set up. So instead of having two of these rows of kinetic or hydrokinetic engines that would come up here and they'd both be plugged into dynamos, and I would send them to my redstone energy cell or my resonant energy cell. Instead of doing that, I am instead forced to send one this way into a dynamo, send the other one that way into another dynamo, and then wire them together underground, which I've actually been working on setting up down here. This is right below it. And this is probably where I'll run all my wires and stuff to make sure everything actually works the way it's supposed to, because it clearly isn't going to work this way. But yeah, that was a mishap on my part, but it's not unfixable. I might extend this back wall further. I don't think I would tear it down. I think I would just maybe go like right here or something, or maybe in line with that, and then push this back further so I have a little bit more space to work with. But we'll see. If I wire everything underground, it might not be too bad. The things that have to be hooked up here are the cables coming out of these engines. So the redstone energy coils or conduits, those things need to be wired, and then the lubricant pipes or the fluid ducts, which is what I'm using, need to be wired as well. So not a whole lot needs to be set up down there, and each of these pipes goes to different sides. So it probably won't be too bad. We'll see what happens when I do eventually set up the other sides. I haven't made any more. These things are really expensive in terms of iron. But yeah, let me talk about what's going on here. I think I talked about this before. These guys are all powering the rotational dynamo here. This is outputting a fair bit of power, I believe. Yeah, it's outputting 631 redstone flux per tick, which is a lot of redstone flux. That's enough to just underpower a hydrostatic engine, or not hydrostatic, but a electrostatic engine at full power. You can see the energy is being stored in the resonant energy cell, which is the largest energy cell for thermal expansion. and it can hold quite a bit of redstone flux. And then this is, so it's receiving the power from the dynamo, the rotational dynamo here, and then it's sending it through the tesseract, and that tesseract is on the same frequency as the one we talked about downstairs, and so it's sending all that energy there, and I can in fact plug anything up to a tesseract that's set on this frequency, and I can get all the power that's stored in the energy cell. So now I have a way to get energy to any part of my base as long as I have another tesseract that I want to use. So pretty handy. And then what was I going to do? Oh yeah, we talked about this one. For this one, I decided to set this one up purely to create lubricant. Of course, these guys do need lubricant to work. They don't need a lot, but they do need some. If you look at it now, this one has about 3.6 buckets of lubricant in it, and this one has about 2.1 millibuckets, or well, 2.1 buckets, and they're simply, fed the lubricant that's being created by the grinder. It's getting outputted at the bottom, and it's being sent all the way into the back, and then plugged into the back of these engine lines. Ow! Dang it! I keep running into them. And then when they're sent into the back, they get transferred all the way through all of these. So you just have to lubricate one of them, and then they all get lubricated. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. These are two separate gearboxes. This is a 16:1 gearbox, and this is a 4:1 gearbox. They're both made out of bedrock, which means that they have the added benefit of being unbreakable. They don't need lubricant to work. They just work, which is really, really nice. So no extra lubricant needed. They just do their thing. And with that in mind, I think when you play RotaryCraft, you should always be going for the bedrock stuff as early as possible. The bedrock breaker isn't that expensive. And once you get the bedrock tools and the bedrock gearboxes, these guys, your life becomes so much easier. And then the bedrock armor too. So I wouldn't even mess with the diamond stuff because you still need lubricant for that. This doesn't need lubricant. It will never wear down. Never takes damage. So it's pretty nice. Anyways, the gearboxes here are set to speed. So they're turning the torque that this is outputting, and they're turning it into speed. These guys output a ton of torque. In fact, I believe they provide the highest amount of torque for any engine in RotaryCraft. So basically, I'm taking that and I'm saying, at a 16:1 ratio, turn that torque into speed. So it's rapidly increasing the speed that these guys are outputting, and I think we can check that. So it's 32 radians per second. This one's outputting at 512 radians per second. This one's outputting at 2048 radians per second. And then this one's finally receiving that 2048 radians per second. This doesn't need a lot of torque, so I don't have to send it a whole lot of torque. I just need to send it a lot of speed so that it runs as quickly as possible. So that's what these guys are here for. I don't know if I could step it up, because there's clearly, there's different grades of gearboxes here. There's 16:1, 8:1, 4:1, and I think there's another one. Let me check. Gearbox. 16:1, 8:1, 4:1. Oh, there's a 2:1 as well. But yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know if this was an 8:1, if I would have enough. I'm worried that I wouldn't have enough torque at that point. But this is the main reason that I'm collecting bedrock right now, is because I want to make a bunch of these. They're really handy for powering different things, and also bedrock shafts are nice. So definitely want to get a lot of bedrock, and that's what this side is pretty much doing right now. It's the only thing it's powering, but we're gonna change that here pretty soon. Sun is going down again, and this is all stuff I'm gonna have to rearrange. But what I'd like to do for the rest of the base is set up my applied energistics stuff, and I want to also kind of get this floor set up, but it doesn't have to be done right now. But the question is, where do I want to put my setup, my access terminal? I guess I can always wire different access terminals, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm thinking maybe going just in the corner with it, at least for now. because then I can put all my processing machines below the ground. Like I can put all my different machines for auto processing down here, as well as my assembly chamber. So yeah, that might be what I do. Although it's kind of a pain to get back up if you do jump down. Because I don't have a jetpack yet. The jetpack in this game takes ethanol, which is... or RotaryCraft takes ethanol. I don't know how to get ethanol. Although I can't imagine it's too hard. This jetpack allows you to fly, making construction and navigation easier or even combat. It consumes a large amount of ethanol, so keep an eye on the fuel gauge. And then you can combine it with the bedrock chest plate. Because of the added mass, it is slightly less powerful and responds slightly more sluggishly. Ew, I don't want that. Go back. Ethanol. Ethanol crystals can be made by drying out ethanol sludge in a furnace. These crystals can be used as fuel. Yeah, I don't know how you actually get this stuff. Sludge. Oh, that is how you spell sludge. You ferment yeast and any sort of sapling, and you get yeast from fermenting sugar and dirt. And you get sludge, and then you use that to get the ethanol crystals, and you use that and a magma crucible to get ethanol. Oh, I guess that's not too hard. But I don't know where I would get the dirt from. Or wait. Yeah, the dirt. Where would I get the dirt from? Huh. Yeah, I don't know where I would get the dirt. Weird. Is that the only way you can get yeast? I guess so. Where would I get the dirt? I don't even know. I mean, I have a lot, because I've been digging, but what happens when I go through it? You can't, like, automatically produce dirt. But I guess maybe we'll investigate that another time. I'm sure there's some workaround. You can't, like, pulverize things to get dirt. There's nothing you can really do about it. Oh well. Yeah, so we need to get moving. And to do that, we're going to have to move all of our applied Energistics stuff. Turn back around, please. There we go. And also my inventory is clogged. In fact, why don't we just go place those? Because I've got a full inventory of this stuff, and I don't feel like throwing it in a chest, so I have to go back and get it again. I don't know what I'm going to use for the walls. I might just use the gray bricks again. Well, I'm going to go finish this up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so here's a lesson for you. When you're doing a Let's Play, try to avoid updating your version of Minecraft between or in the middle of an episode, because it tends to cause problems. And that's certainly what happened here. You can see I've got my grinder inside my base for some reason. Why would I have it in here? Oh, because the update that I just did happened to destroy all of my engines. They all happen to be in my inventory right now because they all decided to stop working. Actually, not even stop working, they all turned into a different type of engine, so I had to basically relocate them. And all my lubricant is gone. Well, I got some lubricant here. I guess I could have used that. I forgot about that. Totally forgot. I'll let this finish, I guess. Basically, yeah, that's what happened. I updated to the latest version of SolitaryCraft, and yeah, that's it caused a bunch of updates, and a bunch of my RotaryCraft stuff decided to break or turn into different things. Actually, my two gearboxes that I have are actually what do I have? I have the 4-to-1. I have another 4-to-1 downstairs, and then I have this 16-to-1. All of these guys decided to turn into wooden gearboxes, and then when I picked them up, they transformed back. But it was kind of odd. I was kind of worried that they would be stuck that way, but whatever. I guess we're fine now. In the latest version, there were some fixes for some things. I don't know if they added... Yes, they did. They finally added these generators in here, which are pretty interesting. They generate a certain amount of redstone flux each. Like this one generates solar power. It does require a block of diamond to make. Heated redstone. There's the ender generator. Bunch of different stuff. Lots of different engines, or generators, I should say. These might be worth using. I don't know. My phone just went off. I have 2 messages. And yeah, anyways, these generators are kind of cool. They're pretty handy, I guess, if you're starting off. But I wonder if ooh, this could be a big yes, it's here. The Ender Quarry. Oh, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be cool. Actually, this might be a great way to get dirt. I didn't think about that. The Ender Quarry is, if you look at the recipe here, is very, very similar to the construction of the Buildcraft Quarry, and it's also a very similar device. This is going to be fun. Oh, I'm so glad that they finally added this. We need to play with this. We need to mess with this. We need to make this, because this is amazing. This guy is so cool. Requires quite a few ender pearls, which I don't think I have. Oh, I already got that. Okay, let me relocate all these guys. Again, the main reason I was messing with that was because I didn't have any more lubricant, but I'll just grab some there. I'm getting some frame rate loss too. I wonder if that's as a result of adding OpenBlocks. I actually did add a new mod when the update came along. I was like, you know, I don't have Minechem anymore. Let me add something else. So I threw on OpenBlocks, which you get a book for that, which has some cool things in it. I don't know if I'll keep it, especially if I am getting a frame rate drop due to it. Although I kind of find that hard to believe. Okay, so everything should be good here. There we go. And then we need the other one. Yeah, I do seem to be getting a much larger frame rate drop. And then we need the 16:1 gearbox and the, well, not the grinder yet. We need the 4:1, and yep, then the grinder. Sweet. And then change these guys to speed mode. Pop in here, make sure that's full. That is full. And then some lubricant. Boop. And there we go. Everything is back in order. God's in his heaven and all is right with the world. Sweet. So that's going to be doing its thing. I really should actually get rid of this. This is doing nothing for me. And I really should move everything else. So I need to put my wrench. Pick these guys up. Put you here. Should be getting power now. I think it's still going to be receiving the same amount. Not sure if that's not the one I want. Is it this one? Nope. Might be that one. Or not. I don't know. I have to figure out which face is the output face. This one? Oh, that's the top one. Oh, it is this one. Okay. Alright, here we go. We want this guy. Yep. And that should be sending power over to the grinder that's downstairs. And this thing seems to be getting the same amount of power it was before. These guys are making noises again, pretty much because... Did that make a difference? Why is it only generating 46 redstone flux per tick? Oh, did they get nerfed? No. Conversion limit exceeded. Power being wasted. Generating 46. Oh, he capped them. Oh. Well, that changes things. That changes things. Yeah. I guess I'm glad I updated now just so I could find out. So apparently these things have been changed. I'm gonna go check on what exactly changed with them, and then I'll be back. We'll figure something out. Okay, so I fixed it. I'm not sure exactly what the deal is. I think maybe the change, because I don't think it actually changed too much from what it was before. But what seems to have happened is that there is or I don't know how I avoided it before. So I guess maybe it was a new change where they introduced a new limitation on the amount of torque that the rotational dynamo can take, and then once it's hit that cap, it won't take anything else. So it will take pretty much any power, as long as it's below 8192, whatever these two numbers multiplied by each other are. I have no idea. Basically, as long as your power doesn't exceed this limit, which is 8,192 times 8,192, then you're good to go, and it'll produce that power. The other thing is that if you go above this in torque or speed, it will just stop at whatever point it reaches. So in order to get the maximum amount of power and all the efficiency, you need to make sure that you are not generating too much. So this guy is receiving 512 radians per second at 3.6170 megawatts. So about 3,000 watts of power total, and that's an amount. I don't really know how much that is. It's because I don't have a calculator in front of me and I don't feel like calculating it out. There's a lot of math that goes on here, but anyways, this the 16 to 1 gearbox seems to be enough to run the dynamo again, and I am once again producing that 652 redstone flux per tick, so very happy about that. I thought that he straight up nerfed it and made it pretty much impossible to use, but thankfully that's not the case. Very happy to see that. I don't have to completely go back to the drawing board on how I'm going to produce my energy. Unfortunately, that means that the grinder's going to be going a little bit slower, but should be okay. Shouldn't be losing too much lubricant. Should be. I guess we'll find out if I actually do run out. But I'm definitely going to want another one of these 16 by 1 gearboxes so I can put that back over here. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So we figured that out, and I think that is it for that. The next thing I wanted to do was build something from OpenBlocks that I thought would be pretty fun to mess around with. Actually, there's something I already made, which is the elevator, and this is pretty cool. If you place it down and then you place another one above it, I'm pretty sure there's a limitation on... That's not what I want. That's a update. The OpenBlocks book. What was I going to look up? Yes, the elevator here. Oh, it doesn't say how far. Okay, I must have looked that up on the wiki. So basically, if you stand on it and you hit shift, you go down a floor. If you jump on it and you press spacebar, you go up a floor. And it costs experience every time you do it. So I'm at 17. I'm at 17 still, but if I go up, I go down to 16. So yeah, it does cost a little bit, but it's pretty fine. I think it's okay. So yeah, these things, I guess if I really want to use them, I'd have to use a bunch of them, and I'm not really looking forward to doing that, so I might not use them at all. I guess I could use them in my base. These would be actually pretty handy to put out there, but before we do that, we need to make... What was I going to make? Oh yes, the hang glider. So bring up NEI again. Let's look up the glider. Okay, so the hang glider is pretty cool. You may have seen people using it on the Minecraft FTP server. I know Etho's been using it a lot. The glider wings, you need 2 of these. These are made with leather and sticks. Cool. So I have my... do have leather, right? Yeah, it's right there. 3, 4, 6. And then like this. Make 1 glider wing, make 2 glider wings. And then we need what again? Oh, I must have my NEI synchronization up. And then 1 more stick. So it goes here, here, and here. There we go. I don't know... oh, I must be wearing it now. Yep. I am. Oh, cool. Okay, so just pressing spacebar kind of lets you do some gliding. Not a whole lot, but it's something. Stop it. Stop it. That's weird. But we'll go up to the top here and fly around the base. It's definitely not a replacement for a jetpack, but since it doesn't take up an inventory slot, you can have both. And it sort of imitates what I've done in the past, where I'll have leggings, modular power suit leggings, and then a jetpack to move really fast throughout the world. You can get going pretty fast on the hang glider. I would definitely say that the power suit leggings are way better, but I don't think people on the Minecraft server have figured that out yet. The sprint assist on those things is crazy, but yeah, here we go. Our lovely, lovely island base. I've been hunting a lot of Endermen out here lately, so I've gotten to know the island a bit more. Otherwise, I mostly stay around the base, but there's a lot of space in here to expand. And, yep, there's a spawn point. It's way out here, I think. There's this ocean. You can see just how far it goes down. Look at this sheer cliff. I don't know how well it comes up on YouTube, but it's very apparent that there's a drop. And it is ridiculous. Oh, we can see my tunnels down there too. Pretty cool. If you can barely see the light coming out of there, that is the stronghold portal to the end. So I may have to make a tunnel going down there so I can just jump down there. That'd be pretty neat. And come in for a landing. Huh. Pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Okay, so I said we were going to move today. I may have to do that off camera because I don't think we're going to get to that. So the last thing I wanted to do was just briefly test this. Make sure this is what I expect from it. I've got to go turn off engine sounds again in my config. Efficient. Woo. What I could do, instead of having a big staircase, I could put one there too, but have these elevators kind of strategically placed, so if I do need to go down to the floor, I can do it really easily, and then I can really stagger some floors down and up pretty straight, pretty easily. I think that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I like it. I like these things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and end the episode here. Next time, we will pretty much dive straight into applied energistics, getting that set up, getting all the stuff for that, because I do need to set up a full automation system, and when that's actually set up, that's gonna be the perfect time to set up the Ender Quarry, or the... I just totally clicked off the Ender Quarry. Ender Quarry. This thing is just amazing. It's so cool. I love it. Ender Quarry is an automated mining system that combines uncontained energy of the end with the raw power of Mother Nature to extract the previous bounty of the earth while leaving the structure untouched. So basically, it replaces the rock and stuff with dirt, so you don't get these giant empty chunks. You instead get a pretty nice area, and I think it's really nice for servers too. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I gotta do some farming and fill out some job applications. So thank you for watching, and until next time then.